Biggie and Tupac. What Really Happened Part 1. Pre-existing feud between Puffy and Suge, Biggie and Tupac at Quad Studio before the East/West Coast War. Unanswered questions about what truly happened between Biggie and Tupac present a labyrinth of drama, tragedy, and intrigue. As a result, numerous theories have been proposed to explain and comprehend the events that transpired between Tupac and Biggie, ultimately leading to both of their untimely deaths. Background on what happened between Tupac and Biggie, politics as usual. The most significant revelations that can help us understand what happened between Tupac and Biggie come from a special task force of the Los Angeles Police Department called Murder Rap. This task force was assembled to solve the murders of Biggie and Tupac, attempting to demonstrate that corrupt Los Angeles police officers were not involved in Biggie's murder amid a $400 million wrongful death lawsuit filed by Biggie's estate. The following is the result of the Murder Rap investigation that may shed light on what happened between Tupac and Biggie. Coastal Wars, CEO feud, and the Quad Studio attack. The first shot in the rivalry between Biggie and Tupac occurred in 1995 when Suge Knight's bodyguard and childhood friend, Big Jake Robles, was shot and killed outside a nightclub by Puff Daddy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones. According to the Rap Murder Task Force report, Suge Knight blamed Puffy for the shooting, and this feud between the CEOs of Deathrow and Badboy Records would play a significant role in what would unfold later between Tupac and Biggie. In 1994, Tupac was shot 5 times in an elevator at Quad Studios on his way to a recording session, while Biggie and Junior Mafia were in the same studio building working on music. Tupac accused Biggie of setting him up, an allegation that Biggie vehemently denied. Biggie and Puffy on the Quad Studio attack. The fact that Biggie was not involved in setting up Tupac at Quad Studios was confirmed by several people, including close friends of Tupac, such as Treach, famous for Naughty by Nature. Thrown into the mix to fuel the flames of what would happen between Tupac and Biggie was the hip-hop cultural war between the East and West Coasts over the origins and ownership of hip-hop, which culminated in an open rivalry between the East and West at the 1995 Source Awards. Suge Knight openly scorned Puffy and Badboy Records on stage while receiving an award from Deathrow, mocking Puffy for his constant appearances on albums and music videos of Badboy artists. The East/West cultural war would also feed into the rivalry between Biggie and Tupac after Tupac's release from prison as a Deathrow artist. After being shot at Quad Studios, Tupac was convicted and imprisoned on charges of sexual assault. Suge Knight, however, helped broker a deal that raised Tupac's bail to $1 million, allowing his release pending appeal in exchange for a 3-album contract with Deathrow. In this classic MTV interview with Tabitha Soren shortly after his release, Tupac reveals the origins of what would later unfold between him and Biggie, maintaining that he was set up by Biggie in the Quad Studios shooting. Pac would soon release his classic double album All Eyez On Me, followed by the intense diss track, Hit 'Em Up, all contributing to the personal and professional rivalry between the CEOs of Badboy and Deathrow Records, the East Coast-West Coast cultural war, as well as Tupac's personal issue with Biggie stemming from the Quad Studios shooting in 1994. Conclusion: stage set for the Tupac-Biggie rivalry. After Tupac's release from prison as a Deathrow artist, the stage was set for an explosive conflict as separate interests converged into a toxic cocktail that would eventually lead to Tupac's murder, followed by Biggie's just 6 months later. Stay tuned for Part 2, where we will examine Tupac's murder, revealing the evidence and the conclusion of the task force investigation on Tupac's killer's identity, unraveling the mystery of what really transpired between Tupac and Biggie. Subscribe to the channel.